I am right now at Waterfront Park, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Kind of take the camera around. It's a really nice, hazy day. It's a Saturday, and there's nobody here, as you can see. And there's the bridge there, and there's the Portland Saturday Market over there. And just a few minutes ago, some guy was parked over there, and he was asking people if they wanted food from Subway, and I declined because I just made myself some chicken at TPI, and I'm going to eat that instead. And whatever they feed at Blanchet House in about probably 35 or 40 minutes. I have some catching up to do. I'm hoping that this is recording. I don't know, and I won't know until later on. I've had some pretty bad setbacks in the last 2 months. Today is the 30th of August, and I've been out here since, my bad luck began in June 30th, so going back 2 months, and on Monday I turned 43. So I'm not exactly too thrilled or happy about being out here for the last 8 weeks. It has not been a good thing for me. The whole thing with Gabrielle never stopped. She's still coming in the middle of the night, wherever I'm at, and sexually assaulting. It's the same sexual offense, raping, the oral sex, vaginal sex, anal sex. The whole thing with Taboo hasn't stopped either. Still having to go over there and dealing with them. It's just a bad situation here in Portland. I mean, it's just, I don't know how to resolve this because I feel like I'm dealing with the people from the leftovers from Martin Luther King's era. The 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and 70-year-olds who were in their 20s back then. Well, today they're the opposition, and they make you feel it, and they make you know that they're the opposition, and they don't care. And they want you out of Portland, out of Seattle, out of Los Angeles, out of the West Coast. And these people just don't give two shits about, go back to your own country nigger mentality, On August 28th, I had a little run-in with with Safe and Clean or something like that. I guess that's what they're called. They're officers who make sure that the city stays safe and clean. And I have some crates set up with some Christian information on there. And I also had this sign up, which is it's a sign for Christian work. But I was preaching at the time, and they didn't like clean and safe. They didn't like me. This is the sign that I had up here. I'm gonna try to show it to you. Just gotta give me a minute here. Pull out all this information out of the woodwork here. It hasn't been easy because I don't have anywhere to work, and wherever I sit down to do work, it's an offense because these European people they get harder and harder as they get older, more disobedient, and they're constantly in your face about what you can and cannot do in their country, So I had this sign up. I don't know if you can see it, but this sign up right here on the clipboard, and it says that Jesus is the gospel message of this life, and using Acts 5:20, Romans 1:16-18, and Ephesians 2:10-22. This is what I've been teaching in Portland, and I haven't uploaded any of the information. Let me make sure that this is recording here. Yeah, it's recording, so we'll continue. But anyway, this is what I've been preaching out in the public. And with it, since I don't have an income in the church, well, the Europeans who call themselves the church don't acknowledge me as a Christian. They don't acknowledge the preaching. They don't acknowledge the writing. They don't acknowledge anything that I do. because it's not, under their white thumbs and under their white feet, and I'm not kissing their ass, so they don't particularly give two shits about what I preach, what I teach, and how I live, whether I preach on the ground or whether I'm speaking out of a trend. They don't, these people call themselves Christian by name, but by nature they're still the clan. They're still the. Now I'm finding out that they're the gay clan, so they'll give you the gay side. They'll let you stick it up their butt, but then after that it's all judgment because they got to redeem the family. Anyway. So with the sign came this, quarters for coffee, because that was my way of encouraging them. You need to give. You need to pay for the preaching. And this is talking to the church. As far as, this is the new thing with me now, when you see my videos online, pay for the preaching and the teaching, and pray for the bad videos where you have me literally weeping over all the evil that's being done against me in the States. Because I'm a Haitian man who didn't submit to white supremacy. So I had Officer McLean from the Safe and Clean, or Safe and whatever the name of the group is, approached me, and Safety and Clean, or Clean and Safe, approached me on the 28th of August and asked me to break down a set of crates that I had up. Me and I tangled. I mean, we pretty much gave it to each other. I called him out as a racist and as a Klansman, and what he was doing was prejudice, because the police had seen everything that I was doing. They had seen it, and they didn't complain, and they didn't come out on me, and so they allowed it. But then he, I'm not exactly sure who called him in or brought him in. He had a real problem with me. He didn't want me standing at the corner of Southwest 6th and Yamhill, which was across the street from the Pioneer Square where I also preached. And he asked me to break down the structure and get a year's permit from the city. And I wasn't with it, but I did it. And then he told me that wherever two homeless people could not be on the same corner panhandling. I wasn't panhandling. I was basically saying, encouraging the city, to give quarters for coffee, because the gay community is out here and they want to be redeemed. And since I'm not a part of the homosexual community, the coffee would have been what would have redeemed them, or even the church. Anyway, I left the area and was sent to City Hall. When I got to City Hall tells me that they don't have years permit. City Hall sends me to building department, which is on 4th Avenue, right, 1900. So I go there and they're like, well, we give building permits and building licenses. So, okay, so now there's no years permit going to come out of those two, the City Hall and the building permit. So the building permit sends me to the Revenue Bureau. Revenue Bureau assesses the situation and says, well, you need a license or a permit to have a business in Portland, because I showed them what I was not passing out, but the information that I had on the structure, which was this here, which is what I've been preaching about Jesus, and also this here, which is the year letter that I had intended to send to the churches.